Hi there guys, today we're going to look at our next section of our lesson, which is talking about parallel lines and transversals. This is on page 20 in your packet, so we'll get started. Two lines that never intersect or never cross, never touch are parallel. Arrows indicate that they are parallel. So you can see right here, there's like a little extra arrow that can indicate that they're parallel. The symbol for parallel though is two straight up and down parallel lines. A line that intersects or crosses two or more lines is called a transversal line. So in this case, this is the transversal line. It cut the two parallel lines in half. So in the diagram to the left, L is parallel to M, okay, L and M, and the transversal line is T, that's a lowercase t. Okay, now we're going to get into our angles. You might want to color code these or just come back to the video and check it out. So corresponding angles are in the same position on the parallel lines in relation to the transversal, and they are always congruent in size. Congruent. So corresponding angles looks like this. If 2 is at the top of this parallel line, then 6 is corresponding because it's at the top of that line. Okay, there's a lot of these. 1 would go with 5, 3 would go with 7, 4 would go with 8. Okay, so down here there are some examples. You can write this and say that angle 2 is congruent and similar in space as angle 6. That would just be one example. Alternate interior angles, interior means inside, so they are inside of the two parallel lines. Alternate means alternating, right? Like left, right. And so inside the line would be like 4. Now if I alternate and jump to the other side, it would be 6. So 4 and 6 are called alternate interior. And these are also always congruent in size. So if this was a 40-degree angle, so is this. Okay, so in this case we could say angle 4 is similar and congruent to angle 6. Okay, so alternate means alternating sides of the transversal, and they're on the interior or on the inside between the two parallel lines. So alternate exterior means they are outside of the parallel lines. For example, angle 2. Now we alternate to the other side and it's still outside. So there's an alternate exterior. These are also congruent in size. Okay, so the example for this one, angle 2 and angle 8. Now consecutive interior angles. It says they're on the same side of the transversal and they're on the inside. These are basically like lines that are, or angles that make supplementary. Okay, consecutive means you do something and then you do another thing right away. So these are adjacent to each other. They make a 180. They're interior, they're inside the parallel lines. Consecutive means one right after another. So they share an angle. So for example, 3 and 4. Excuse me, correction, that's not right. It's 3 and 6. Sorry. Same side, not alternate. Same side, not alternate over here. So I apologize. There we go. 3 and 6. Same side, interior. And they are supplementary. You can see this is a small angle and this is a wide angle. So we're talking about, for example, angle 3 and angle 6. If we added them together, they'd be a 180. They are supplementary in size, not congruent. Okay, sorry, the 3 and the 6. Okay, so here it says use the diagram, classify each angle pair. So 1 and 5. So we're looking at 1 and 5. I can see they're on the outside of my parallel lines, and they go on one side of the transversal and then the other. So that's called alternate exterior. It says also to note, are they congruent or supplementary? They're all going to be congruent or same size unless they're this last one. So we can also say they're congruent. Okay, let's look at 6 and 8. So 6 and 8. Okay. So those are called corresponding. They're living in like the same spot. This is like the orange one at the top. So if I look at my parallel lines, even if I turn it this way, 6 is in the bottom right corner and so is 8. Okay, so those are called corresponding. They live like in the same spot on that street. Corresponding angles are also congruent. 2 and 3. So we have 2 and 3. They're both inside. This is called consecutive, like the pink one. So 2 and 3 are consecutive. Those are also going to be supplementary, right? One is large, one is small. They're supplementary. 3 and 7. So we're looking at 3 right here on the inside, 7 on the inside. They're alternating the sides of the transversal and their interior, so that's called alternate interior. Alternate interiors are also congruent. 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Here comes another in the same address. So here's top left corner, here's top left corner. 2 and 4 are another one of those ones called corresponding. Corresponding usually is the toughest one for my students to get the hang of. Corresponding. They're in the same kind of address. Like, hey, I live on the northwest corner of my block, so do I. Okay. 6 and 7. All right, so 6 and 7, they make kind of like that pink one where they're both interior. They're going to be a supplement to each other. So that is these consecutive interior. And those make supplementary angles. Correspondings are congruent. 2 and 6. 2 and 6, they're inside, but they alternate the side of the line, so they are alternate interior. And alternate interiors are congruent. 4 and 8. So 4 is at the top, 8 is outside, they're on the opposite side, so they are alternate exterior. And alternate exteriors are also congruent. Okay, it's your turn to give this a try.